Hey guys, happy Sunday and welcome to our final elemental zodiac reading for the air signs for October 2022. So hello October 2nd and welcome to all of our air signs, sun, moon, rising for Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a ton of air in my chart, so I'm super excited to see what's going to be coming up for us this month. All right, so I have all of my goodies here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and cast an elemental circle. I like to call in the elements and also to utilize the elements in order to clear the space so we get the messages for our best and highest good. Hey, Angela! All right, so I'm going to go ahead and burn our little candle here. I actually have a yellow candle this time. I was on here earlier this morning. I had the weekly live chat, but I thought I would use a yellow candle this time for some sunny solar plexus energy. All right, there you go. Burn, baby, burn. Utilizing that fire element to just burn away anything that does not serve us at this time. Just setting that intention and then grabbing a little piece of my Palo Santo. We're going to use that air element to blow away any and all things that may impede our messages, our ability to get messages this evening. All right, there we go. Excelente, I love it. Let's go ahead and put this little baby candle down. And then I'm gonna bust out my bottle of chinchweed water, which actually I just finished making my chinchweed video. So if you're wondering about all the uses for many bristled chinchweed, that's gonna be coming out on Friday of this upcoming week. So excited about that. It has this wonderful earthy lemony scent and it's so good for clearing space. Probably also why I picked a yellow candle, because chinchweed is actually a wonderful yellow flower, a little annual. Okay, for the earth element, I have this wonderful wand that James and I created for our desert cauldron shop. The link for that shop is down below. And we created this out of elk bone. We have this wonderful Brazilian quartz sphere on the end here. We have a piece of Amazonite here, and then we have deer leather, and then also some Lemurian quartz and Brazilian quartz here. So this is a beauty, and whoever gets this, I will make sure to pack it extra special because I love this wand so much. And by the way, anything that we use that has animal parts in it, we make sure it is ethically obtained because we believe in harm to none. That's how I do my practice, and so that's how we do our business. All right, so let's go ahead and call in the elementals, starting at the north, which is off to my right. Calling in the elementals of the north to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the east to help us cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the south to help us to cast our circle today. And calling in the elementals of the west to help us to cast our circle today. Our circle is cast, let our work begin, and so it is. All right, baby. I'm gonna put you over here. And by the way, we do have this in our Etsy shop if you are interested. And I think I forgot to mention at the very beginning, if you are new to the channel and you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and all of my links are down below. So if you want to check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, or you want to check out Desert Cauldron, which, you know, that beautiful wand is in Desert Cauldron. It's on Etsy. It's our little witchy shop that James from Light of Riga and I own. A lot of created items from us, but also a lot of items from local artisans here in Arizona. I also have my other things there. I have Patreon, I have my YouTube membership. I also have the Leon Mystery School newsletter, which I just put out. So if you sign up for the newsletter, I'll make sure that you get November 1st's newsletter. I don't play the spam games. All you get is a wonderful witchy newsletter. All right, enough about that. Let's go ahead and dive into the decks that I'm going to be utilizing for this evening's reading for our air signs, our air zodiac signs. I'm going to be using my Wally's World Oracle, which I have a link for down below, and I'm going to be sending out a Wally's World tomorrow, so excited. And I'm going to be using the Tarot V. So yesterday, I think what we had earth signs. I used the Tarot Z because, you know, zombies felt kind of earthy, but I don't know, like vampires, air sign, maybe because they turn into bats. So kind of felt like maybe the air element with that one. I'm also going to be using my witch's runes, my Gospel of Aradia, and the Oracle of Shadows and Light. So I thought I'd bust out some more of my fall, Halloween, Samhain type decks, you know, kind of try to go with the season a little bit. Okay, I want to give a little extra cleansing to the area using sound energy. So I have my Tibetan singing bowl here, which is attuned to Nam, which is the heart chakra. So let's go ahead and give a little clearing here. All right, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling good. It's ready to slang some cards. All right, so let me go back here. Angela said I'm going to use the Blessed Be Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. Dude, love all of Lucy Cavendish's decks. And just pass some blessings down this time. Okay. It says, she says, I have Shadows and Light. I love that deck. Yes. I don't know. I love those images, that artwork, just freaking so much. Angela said, guard card for the Blessed Be Oracle is Morrigan's Blessing of Peace After Battle. Sounds good to me. After transitions comes peace. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull a theme card. I'm going to pull a theme card for Wally's World. And by the way, yeah, anybody who's popping into the chat this evening, no matter when you pop into the chat, if you want to pull some cards along with us, that's why I do the live chats, because I want us to come together. I want us to communicate. I want us to enrich the reading and make it even more beautiful and more intriguing, lots more detail, lots more information. And you guys can supply that as well. So if you want to pull cards, if you have some downloads, if you see something in my cards and you know I don't point it out, then you definitely point it out, because there are people that do watch the replay, and we want to make sure that they get those messages too. Alikia, hey, how are you? It's like I just hung out with y'all, but that's cool. I like it. I dig it. Okay, so let me go ahead and shuffle these cards here. Whoa, these cards are getting a little cray. Actually, the energy's been interesting. All right, Alikia is doing good. Excellent. Okay, looks like we have our card. All right. Oh, okay. So this beautiful image was actually taken by our friend Cosmic Creeper. I think she still has her YouTube channel here, but you can mostly find her on Instagram or on her Patreon page. But she lives out in the UK, and this was taken in the Royal Botanical Gardens. She said it's one of their older trees, and she just feels such a peace, you know, being around this tree. So let me see, where did I place Wally? Because Wally is photoshopped within every single image, and there he is. He's actually laying on his back, stretching down at the base of the tree, enjoying its shade. So let me go ahead and dive into this one and see what October 2022 has cooked up for air signs like myself. Okay. Ancient wisdom. What's coming to the forefront here. Trusting in your downloads, trusting in the wisdom. When we get into a meditation, when we work on our shadows, when we do healing work, when we do cord cutting, when we tap into our intuition, more and more we become familiar with the voice of our higher self, you know, because we are dualistically not only human and a 3D self, but we're also a multidimensional self. And the more we get in tune and learn what the higher self sounds like, the less we might become duped or persuaded by the ego. And so the month of October is all about this wisdom coming in and trusting it. And there may be people that may not see the things that you see or understand what you know to be true, or why you're doing particular things, or why you want to go move here or do this or that. And you really have to stay true to yourself. You really do have to follow your heart, because this is your life path. You're not living the path for everybody else. They have their own life path to work on. You know, they may have opinions about how you need to do your thing, but that's it. That's just their opinion. You know, they can't live your life for you. So you can take in their opinion, you can roll it through your higher self and see how that feels for you. You know, is that something that you want to roll along with too, or is that not something that resonates with you? And if it doesn't resonate with you, you have to push it off to the side. Oftentimes people try to utilize the ego to understand the higher self of another, and it's just not going to mesh up. But if somebody else's, or other people that are in their heart space and also connected to their higher selves, they know that you're doing you, and that's cool, and they're going to be there for you whenever maybe you need some help, or maybe they want to help you along with what it is that you're doing. But I keep seeing this as trust in the wisdom, trust in your higher self. I know it can be a little scary, especially when the ego is shouting to the top of its lungs, what are you doing? I don't understand what you're doing. Stop, stop, stop. And that's just because it's a part of the 3D. It's a part of the matrix programming. It doesn't know your life path. It doesn't understand. It only knows the past, and it only knows how to survive. Like, that's about it. So we have to move forward despite the protests of our ego, which is why, again, it's so important to understand who's really speaking. Is it the ego, or is it the higher self that's leading you? All right, okay, I can dig that. I'll just put that there so I can reference it as I pull some more cards. Angela said, a blessing on your peace of mind, air signs. Not only is there outer peace from Morgan's blessing on offer, but inner peace as well. Your mind will settle down. You'll learn to access peace among chaos. I love it. Especially, you know, energy can get a little bit intense, especially around this time when our sensitivity is so much more heightened that it feels like there's more around us, when actually it's the same level of stuff that's always around us. We're just more sensitive to it. And so sometimes it can be very overwhelming for people. So I love that peace, you know, within the chaos. I can dig it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull from the Tarot V. Let's pull a few cards here and see what the vampires have to say about the month of October. All right. Now with this deck, I actually edged this deck a lovely like brick red color. I thought it, you know, it's kind of cool. And actually James showed me how to edge my decks. So I have a few edge decks and I think they're pretty cute. Okay, so let's give these a little shuffle. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a few cards. Which vamps am I using? Well. Tarot V, baby. I couldn't wait for this deck to come out last year. This one's by Alejandro Calucci. And the artwork is amazing. Like, they definitely don't make the vampires look all like sexy like they do in the movies. Like, they show them for the monsters that they are, and I think it's awesome. So anyway, these are the backs, and these are the front of the cards. Dude. And the knights are all vampire hunters, which I think is cool. Dude, I dig it. You know, if you dig vampires, I'd say look this one up. Okay, like I said, let's go ahead and pull a few cards for our air signs here. So what I'm doing is just kind of doing the general read for air signs, and then we'll go into the individual air signs. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, so we can get a more well-rounded message. Okay, so air signs, October 2022, air signs, October 2022. There's one card. Whoa. Okay, there's two cards. Air signs 20. Whoa. Okay, some of these cards flip themselves over. Okay. Air signs we'll pull one more card for the air signs. One more card. One more card. Do do do. We're gonna celebrate. It's October. Do 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 do. Okay. One of the cards kind of flipped themselves over, but let me show you what we got here. Angela's like, ooh, I like it. They're beautiful. I should grab them too again, maybe. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's make it a little vampire-y evening. Actually, I'll grab the Magdalene. Okay. All right. So here we have the Four of Pentacles. Very interesting image there. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Basically, with this little vampire jumping on top of you, it looks like the end for you, at least for your aliveness. Will you become dead ski or alive dead ski? All right, and then we have the Eight of Swords. Okay, coming in with double swords there. I mean, we are air signs, so. And, oh, a third swords card. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, man. Yeah, I can dig that. Okay, let's see. Angela said, the Magdalene Oracle is so unique. The energy snapped most of my decks into a nice settled state. All right. Well, yeah, go ahead. Sling those cards, man. Sounds interesting. All right. So let me just take a look and see if there's any repeating numbers. We have a 4, a 10, an 8, and a king. So 1 court card, 3 minors. As far as the elements go, we have 3 swords cards. So we have the sword suit or the air suit. We have a pentacle, the earth suit. So that means we're missing fire and we're missing water. So maybe just kind of take that into account for our reading. So the earthly material plane, groundedness, earthly plane, but also water, intuition, relationships, emotion, heart, all of that. So just kind of taking that in for the message. Oh, you know what? I do also want to mention that the numbers are all even. That does matter, at least in Mayan astrology and Mayan numerology. Odd numbers and even numbers, usually they find even numbers to be a lot more or easier to work with, where the number 10 is all about duality and balance. The number 8 is seen as the thread of life. So infinity, it's the thread that connects us all. And the number 4 being the most stable number in all of the trecena, so numbers 1 through 13. Number 4 represents the 4 corners of the earth, the 4 directions, the 4 colors basically, and 4 seasons, 4 times of day, 4 stages of growth, like all of these things. So very stable. So just also wanted to point that out. So duality, stability, infinity, and connectedness. Okay. All right. So give me a moment. I'm going to do a little channeling for these cards and see what comes through. Let's see. Angela also has some stuff here from her Magdalene Oracle. It says, guard card for Magdalene is the secret depicting a feminine face with closed eyes and an infinity symbol under her left eye. And I was talking about the number 8, which is infinity, along with the Om symbol. When others try to share too much or let you in on a secret that you sense could harm you, you don't get involved and shut your eyes and see no evil, air signs. Sometimes it's best not to get involved. I agree. Okay, so let me go into this. All right. I see the month of October as not a whole lot of, I would say, earthly plane type stuff. So it's not really the month for, just kind of like spending just for the sake of spending and, kind of going out and partying and, all of the things with being human on the earthly plane. It feels like there is a lot going on in terms of healing leveling up, growing, which also goes along with the theme card that we got with trusting your wisdom, trusting the wisdom that's coming through, your higher self, trusting what your heart is telling you and where it's leading you. That's also what I'm getting with the King of Swords. Like the King of Swords, if you guys remember the card that I showed you, it's like he's cutting through, like, haha, you know, I'm no more of that BS, like, haha. Because the moment we give in to the ego's demands, the moment we look at the ego and say, oh, all right, ego, I guess you know better, you know, and really the ego is as 3D as a piece of paper, you know, it doesn't know much. That just, it doesn't lead us down a road for our best and highest good. It's almost like the end for us with that 10 of Swords, because when we get into a fear mode and we let the ego run amok, you know, I know Hocus Pocus 2 just came out, so thinking of Sarah Jessica Parker and her character, like amok, you know, I kind of feel like that's our ego. Like, oh my God, I want to be scared of that, and I want to be scared of that, and oh my God, let's not do that. No, that seems dangerous. No, I don't want to do that. Or what the heck are you doing? Let's not try anything new. That just seems so silly. And our higher self is like, no, go in this direction. I know it might be a little scary at first, but this is how you grow. This is how you build your confidence. I want to see you improve. I want to see you grow. I want to see you, you know, utilize the tools that you have. I want you to gain more tools so that you can help not only yourself, but help others. So, you know, you got your higher self basically cheering for you in your corner, trying to help push you along. And yes, you know, things might be uncomfortable, but even there was something that I posted on my Instagram stories today about, you know, we don't grow unless we go through things that are uncomfortable. Same thing, you know, like in the weight room, you know, I was, you know, an athlete for a really long time, and I was a coach. And if you wanted your muscles to grow, well, you're going to have to do things that it's not used to. You're going to have to do things that maybe make them feel tired or make them feel uncomfortable if you want to have bigger muscles or, you know, get in better shape. So the same thing is with our life, but our ego wants us to stay in one place and then somehow make us think that by staying in one place, you're going to somehow get better and manifest all the things you've ever wanted. I don't think so. You know, food's not just going to rain down on me if I never take the car and go to the grocery store. You know, I can't just, it's not going to happen. You know, we have to make movement forward. And so we got to be that King of Swords. We got to cut through that BS and say, you know, ego, I know you think that you're doing what's right for me, but for now you're just going to have to and I'm going to show you by action. I'm going to show you with my actions how wrong you are. And that's when you go do the thing. And so with that 10 of Swords, I was also getting that, you know, if we give in to the ego, well, that's, we can't grow from there. But also, if we can push the ego aside, follow our heart, then that's kind of putting an end to the ego. So it's kind of a double-sided thing. You know, the 10 of Swords could be our positive, but it also could be our negative. So it could be our light side, but it also could be our shadow side. But also, like I said, with the Four of Pentacles, I was kind of getting that, you know, this is not the month of like excess and just, you know, going out and doing all the outwardly things. This is all about going inward. So this is kind of a hermit mode for our air signs. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, this is about going inwards. This is about going into the mind and also into the heart. Again, working that discernment, trying to listen to what voice is what voice, which one sounds like it's for my best and highest good. My best discernment is going to be using my heart. So, all right. Okay. All right, let's go back here. Angela said, blessing on prosperity came to number 21, depicting a woman in a meditative position holding a star fruit. She has a bowl of them in one hand and half of one in the other hand. So remember to share and show gratitude when you prosper, air signs. Prosperity is coming, but remember to share and enjoy. Yes, again, when we share and enjoy and we're in that gratitude state, we're actually in the heart space. We're actually in our higher self when we do that. So, amaze balls. Let me just grab a little bit of water. Okay, so on that, let's get some more clarity on the individual zodiac signs. So individually, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's actually start with Aquarius. Also, let me know if there's any Aquarius in the house, sun, moon, or rising. I'm going to use my witch's runes for that one. Again, taking into account the messages that we just got for like general for the air signs, and then we'll add a little bit of extra. Okay, so Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, Aquarius, this is the age of Aquarius. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, Alicia said that's me. All right, Aquarius, what's up? Okay, let's see. You have the little moon here, the crescent moon. So Aquarius, let's dive into this one. Trust. Trust is a big word coming up for Aquarius. Again, that fits in so well to the general read that we just did, and that trusting the wisdom, trust the wisdom coming through with that theme card that we pulled at the very beginning. There's a reason we don't know every single detail of every single thing in our life. That would render our free will null and void. You know, we can't know what's happening next because we haven't made those decisions yet. So our decisions are based on the information that we have and also our intuition. And we take both of those things and we take them along with us on our road of life. Bless you. So today is one ebb in the Mayan astrology, and ebb is the road of life. And so as we're on this road of life, Aquarius, it's about moving forward even though you don't know absolutely for sure what the future holds for you. You know, if I make this decision here, I don't know every single detail of what that's going to look like and how that's going to show up for me and this and that, because with every decision we make, we have a branch and slew of possibilities that open up for us. It's kind of like roots on a tree. You know, you have a root coming down that branches off into other roots. Those little roots branch off into roots, and that's kind of what our decisions look like. And so Aquarius, you're just going to have trust. You're just going to have faith in your higher self, knowing that your higher self would never steer you wrong. It's what's connected to the all source. It's what's connected to every being and everything on this planet, in the known universe and in the meta universe and the, well, not the metaverse, the multiverse, basically. Meta universe, that's like Facebook. We're beyond Facebook. But yeah, so, you know, if you feel a little nervous about some of the decisions that you're going to be making this month, that's when you need to drop into the heart space. Is this decision for my best and highest good? And if you feel it is, but you don't know how you know it's the best decision, you just know it's the best decision, that's your claircognizance. Go with it. Okay? The ego, if it sounds anything like anxiety, it sounds anything like fear, it sounds anything like, oh, but last time you tried this, this is what happened. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, yeah, in the past, that is what happened when X, Y, and Z occurred, but I'm in a different energy now. This is a different situation. I'm a different person. I have a different perspective. I've grown. So this is not the exact same situation. So we're going to see where this takes me. Okay, so discerning between higher self and the ego and learning to trust. Aquarius, if you do that, you can never go wrong. You'll never be off your path. just follow and trust. I know that's probably one of the bigger steps we have to take as human beings. But this is where your biggest growth comes from. So you guys got some good stuff happening in the month of October. You got this, Aquarius. You got this. Let's see. Let's go back here. Do. Angela said, we have a revelation and the lovers from Magdalene Oracle and a blessing from the ancestors from the Blessed Bee Oracle. Revelation shows a cave with a carved wall and something covered up in the middle. Pull back the curtain and reveal what is meant for you. It feels like it's for you and varies based on your life, but it will lead to a soulmate connection, or if you already have that connection, strengthen it. It feels beautiful and stable. It's like the air that has been whirling around is being harnessed. Blessing from your ancestors shows a wizard with long white hair, a beard in blue and gold robe, holding mistletoe. Something special will start now, but will be settled in around the holidays. Though mistletoe has significance for Samhain, for warding off evil spirits when hung above the door. Yes, that is very true. All right, let's pull for Libra. Yeah, Libra. I'm a Libra moon, by the way. So, all right, Libra. Do we have any Libras, by the way, in here? Any sun, moon, rising Libras? Am I the only Libra moon? Okay, let's pull for Libra. Okay, looks like we have. Oh, okay. This is actually the symbol for harvest. Much like for Samhain, Samhain is considered the third and final harvest before winter sets in. So it's like the last time where you can start bringing in things, canning your foods and goods and getting ready for the winter time. So everything that you have now, that's it. That's supposed to last you through the winter. So everybody's always hoping that they have a bountiful harvest so that we can make it through the winter. Of course, now we have modern conveniences and we have supermarkets and things like that. But it is good to kind of reap what you sow, even if it isn't pertaining to farming. So let's go ahead and see what this means for our Librans out there, our little Libras. All right, actually, you know what? This is about Libra and around the time of Samhain. So this is the very last week and a half of the month of October. But basically, all the seeds that you've been planting in your mind, the way that you speak to yourself, the limitations you place on yourself, or the lack of limitations you place on yourself, you're going to see the fruits of your labor, both conscious and subconscious, revealing themselves towards the actual, harvest time in the wheel of the year. So even if you're not pagan or, consider yourself witchy or, following any of that, the earth still has its cycles, no matter what part of the world we're in, we're still in a particular cycle. And so there is a cycle kind of coming around that time. And so you may start to notice that if you've been feeding into or planting the seeds, feeding into negative self-talk or feeding into, a lot of things that may not be for your best and highest good, then you can expect certain things to grow from that. So if we're planting seeds of negativity and I can't do this and I'm no good, of course, all those things stemming from traumas and shadows. And if we're feeding into that, then that, of course, is going to grow, and it may manifest itself in happenings that are going on around you. It may manifest itself as illness in the body, because the body's trying to tell you that there's something off, there's something out of balance. It's time to look within. But if you've been planting things in I don't have limits, and you've been working on healing and you have been, working on how you speak to yourself internally, then you can expect, of course, the effect of that. You're going to see the growth from that, both in the physical body, but also in the opportunities that are surrounding you. So now that we're at the start of the month, we're not quite there yet. Remember that, with Aquarius and that whole trust thing, and every decision we make creates branches and branches of outcomes. We're still in that phase where your technical future has not been written. So what's going to happen at the end of the month hasn't quite been written yet. It can look however you want it to look. So if you want good things to happen for you, if you want things to manifest, if you want things to grow, then you're going to have to plant seeds that are in alignment with that. And you're being told this ahead of time so that you can take action in a way that you feel is best for you. You know, always, of course, you know, you have this free will choice. What seeds do you want to plant? What energy do you want to put yourself into? What energy are you feeding yourself? And you can expect to see the fruition of that towards the end of the month. So the decision is yours. There are bazillion outcomes, but we have to think about what energy we are feeding. All right, Libra. Okay. Let's see. I'm sure Angela's got some awesome messages for us. Let's see here. Excuse me, Angela said, a blessing on good men and fathers from the Blessed Be Oracle, depicting a portrayal of the horned god with a crown floating above his head and a robin flying over the crown. Robins are some of the first birds to nest in the spring. So any men in the house will be reaping what you sow. If you're not a man, perhaps a good visit from a male relative, healing for the masculine side of your energy, or a blessing from your patron to anyone working with gods. Either way, it's all very good and may be ready to sow around spring, but could be sooner or later. I hate to read timing as time is fluid. Yes, and that can change. From the Magdalene, we have love, saint, sinner, and perception. Love is a pond of water, lilies with a single bloomed flower. Saint and sinner has a blue feminine face with marks of tears and beautiful beating in a pale flower at her third eye. You know, it's interesting you mentioned pale blue. As I'm looking, most of my decks are almost pale blue, but the candle color that I used for today's chat, I almost went with pale blue. And then I was like, no, I like sunshine yellow. So that's interesting. That just kind of popped into my head. Perception is a blue eye overlooking blurred glass and pink clouds. This eye appears to be in the sky. Interesting. All right, let's go into Gemini. So I'm a Gemini Sun, you guys. I also have Gemini in Mercury, and yes, I know Mercury does rule Gemini, but I also have Gemini in Mercury, so hey. Angela said, love, this isn't the same as the Lover's card. This indicator is love of many forms. Oh, there we go. Okay, so, okay, one flew out. One flew out the cuckoo's nest. Okay, let's see what this one is. Ah, okay, we have the little star. We have our little guidance, our little internal compass there. Angela said, Saint and Sinner feels it symbolizes love in forms that you haven't had before, a type you wouldn't normally take. Someone who appears to be the black sheep teaching you. Interesting. All right, so Gemini, let's see what this star means for us. Whoa. Okay, Geminis, are you ready? It's going to be quite a ride, but I think we are ready for this. I think that we've been asking for this, maybe consciously, but also extremely subconsciously. So this is all about the perception of who you are. I think many Gemini, you know, sun, moon, rising, have gotten to a place where who they were and who they have been told they are just doesn't fit what their higher self has been telling them lately. You know, your higher self may be telling you, hey, it's time to move. You know, I'm moving, actually, literally, this month. Your higher self may be telling you it's time to change jobs. Maybe it's telling you it's time to change up the foods you eat. Basically, it's huge life changes. And they may feel rather scary to the ego, because this seems so out of character, quote unquote, out of character for you. This seems like something that you would never do. And as you reflect on your old self, how you see yourself, but mostly we see ourselves as who we were in the past. Sometimes it's harder for us to see ourselves for who we are in the present. And so when you think about your past and you think about your past actions and all of that, and how you grew up and everything, it's just incongruent. It feels like something is wrong or something's off, because you're like, well, I feel like I should go in this direction, but that's so weird because I've never done anything like that before. And it just feels like I can't do that because I've never done that before, and really we know that's just our fear talking. But this is exactly why you need to do something so different, is because you need to really see yourself differently. If we're always in this little tiny box that has been constructed for us and that we've helped to upkeep, then how can we really truly see our limits or our limitlessness? How can we really truly see the gifts that we have? How can we really truly help ourselves and others if we're always confined in this little box? I've always done X, Y, and Z, and people expect me to do X, Y, and Z, so I have to continue doing X, Y, and Z. But I know that there's some little niggle and those little Geminis out there that something just isn't right. Something about this life that you've been living doesn't feel right anymore. And that little niggle is just going to get louder and louder and louder, because you're growing out of alignment with this old version of you. A snake can't keep its old skin on. It's going to get really weird looking. At a certain point, that skin has got to get shed. And it's got to move forward. So same for you. Nobody can make these decisions for you. Again, you have the free will. You can listen to the advice, not listen to the advice. You can decide to stay within a box, not stay within a box. The choice is always yours. That's where the power lies. You always have the power. If you choose to stay where you are, maybe you don't feel comfortable, doing anything else yet, that's up to you. It's always up to you. This is your life, your life's path. But I do feel like in the month of October, this is time to start moving towards making those changes, if not ultimately just jumping in to those big changes. And of course, with big changes, there's going to be a lot of maybe fear, anxiety, uncertainty. But I think that the growth that you gain from this is going to far outweigh any sort of fear or anxiety you may have from this. So this, Gemini, is the month of growth for you. It is time for you to jump into a, I want to say newer version, but the most present version of yourself. The person that you are in the present, which has no bearing on who you'll be or who you were. It's all about who you are right now. And that's a big leap for many Geminis this month. So a lot of growth, you guys. Woo! I feel that too. My goodness. Let's see. Angela said, perception simply states, don't let your judgment cloud your intuition of this love, this kindness headed towards you. Oh, Gemini's got a blessing on unity where there was once division, from the Blessed Bee Oracle, depicting a beautiful older woman with brown hair and a rabbit. Dude, rabbits are like my symbol right now. Rabbits and hares. Magdalene gave you decision, illumination, transformation. Decision shows a pale moon with an abstract shapes that appear to be a pair of hands holding the moon. There's a small pale fire underneath. Illumination shows a woman with dark hair, a glimmer of light at her third eye, and 3 pale slashes near her right eye that are light but appear to be a scratch mark. Transformation is an abstract sunrise over a forest. You know what? That just sounds so beautiful. First, the blessing, what you most wanted resolved, looks like you'll get it resolved in some way. It may not lead you to what you want, but may have choices, and it may hurt, but it's going to teach you a lesson and tell you who your people truly are. Ah, I can dig it. I can dig that. Okay, okay. All right. So let's actually pull out the Gospel of Aradia and let's pull an opportunity and maybe a possible blockage the air signs could encounter in the month of October. So again, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Angela said this will bring transformation, change, and the change will be large, but whether you perceive it is as good or bad is based on you. The Magdalene Oracle is so beautiful. Dude, it sounds beautiful. I highly recommend it. You know what? I'll go check it out after this chat. So the Magdalene Oracle. Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. I got this. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull a card. Let's pull opportunity first. Okay. And then let's pull a blockage that we could possibly encounter. And then we can figure out how to transmute it, how we can overcome it or go around it. We'll see. Okay. Okay, so it's the Magdalene Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. Oh, okay. I love the decks. I had a deck before by Tony Carmine Salerno. I think I gave it to my best friend though. But yeah, I love those decks. Okay, so let's go ahead and, you know what? There was another card that popped out, so I'm just gonna leave that to the side for later. But let's take a look at a particular maybe blockage that we may come along. Oh, fortune. Fortune. All right, okay. I got this one. When it comes to big changes this month, you know, again, all three air signs, our ego, remember, our ego's in charge of the 3D plane. It's in charge of our safety. It's in charge of making sure that we have enough to eat, that we have a roof over our head. It's basically like our little lizard brain, as scientists say. And when we make big changes, moving to a different job, moving to a different place, the first 3D logical thing that comes to mind is money. Will I make enough money in order to get what I want? Because in the 3D world, we equate getting anything in this world with money, with paper, with coins, that we need this stuff in order to get what we want. We know that in the energetic realm, you don't need physical items to get the energy of what you want. You know, when you say that you want a home, really you're asking for a place that you feel safe and may have a roof over your head. And so when you ask for the energy of that and you put yourself in alignment with the energy of that, you know that in some fashion or another, through synchronicity, through opportunities, that somehow that home is going to come to you in whatever form it may be. And it may not be the, I would say, kind of general symbolic 3D version of what a home should look like. So one of the blocks that we need to overcome is the way in which we navigate the 3D world, knowing that there's more than just the 3D world at play, because, you know, as this veil is becoming thin, or as I should say, as our sensitivity is becoming heightened to the energies that have always been there, we know that there's more going on than paper money, jobs, cars, houses. We know that there's so much more than that. And so we have to overcome this idea that if we want something in this world, we have to only go through this route right here. We can only go through money, which is, you know, a concept that we've created in this matrix, that we can only go through there. And that is a very limiting belief. Logically, yes, logically, that makes sense. If I want a car, or if I want a house, if I want another tarot deck, I'm gonna need money. But we know that there are other ways around it that our ego mind just can't fathom. Our little lizard brain just can't fathom those ways, because it's not a higher self. It's not connected to source. So this is where we just gotta change our perception of how we can obtain the things that we want. And maybe we have to be a little bit more fluid and a little bit more laxed on what that thing might look like. Instead of saying, I want a, I don't know, I want a Lamborghini and it needs to be red and it needs to be da 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 da. Instead, I'm just putting out the energy of I need a vehicle because the vehicle will afford me the opportunity to get me to X, Y, and Z. So basically, I just need to be able to find a way to have the opportunity to get me to the places I need to go. And so that's the energy I put out. All right, so that is a particular block to come across, and that we can transmute this. We can get over this. I think we can. I know it's a big thing because basically this whole 3D world is run by cash. But it feels like things are changing in that department, and it's time maybe we start looking at it from a higher perspective. And yeah, so I'm just gonna put that there. Let's see. Angela said, a blessing to safeguard. You came out from the blessing shows a Morgan-like warrior in blue with blue hair surrounded by ravens with her sword in a downturned position and a crescent moon above her. Protection feels in place in the background. You may not see it or what it's protecting you from, but you've dodged a metaphorical bullet. Please thank your guides. Oh, past lives and a mythic reality from the Magdalene Oracle. Yes! All right, so let's take a look at an opportunity that's coming our way. And we have hierarchy. And you know what? The first thing that came to mind was the Bloom's hierarchy of needs. Where did that even come from? I'm sure I learned that in psychology in college, but I think I also learned that back when I was a high school teacher during our, collaboration days that we would have. And we had to learn some sort of, psychology stuff so that we could better understand our students and kind of where their needs are. And if their needs aren't being met, then you can't force them to do other things because they won't be comfortable yet. If they don't feel like they're safe, then they're probably not going to come to school. Or if they don't feel safe at home, they're probably not going to do their homework, and things like that. So we have this like Bloom's hierarchy of needs, and that's kind of what came up with this for our opportunity though. So let me dive into it and see if I can get more clarity on what this could possibly mean. Okay, so actually it's two messages. So it feels like one of the opportunities is the chance to actually revisit the actual Bloom's hierarchy of needs, and you can go on the internet and search for that. It's the same. It's the same basic triangle, and it tells you kind of what's at the bottom, which is the most basic of needs, and then up at the very top. So I think the most basic of needs, I think, is like your feeling secure, having housing and stuff like that. And then up at the very top is just like your material possessions and, all of that. So this feels like a reevaluation of what's actually most important. Like if you were to rewrite that pyramid based on you personally, because that pyramid is just supposed to be like a universal thing for everyone, but we know not everybody's the same. So, so for you, if you were to build your hierarchy of needs, what is the thing that is most important for you? And before you answer that, I want you to go inwards. I want you to ask your heart, not your ego. Ask your heart, what is the most important thing that you need right now? And then move upwards from there. Okay, so once I have that need met, then what would I need met next? And once that need is met, what would I need next? What would I need next and next and next, and keep going up from there. And I think that once you lay that out for yourself, it's much more clear what you want to do next in your life, where you want to take your life next. So this is a wonderful way of opening up these brand new opportunities for yourself. The second message was also taking a look at the hierarchy that we have in our matrix system, our 3D existence. That we as a society are told that certain people are higher than us. They're smarter, they're better, they're more equipped at taking care of us than we are of taking care of ourselves. That certain things are what keep us alive. You know, we need this person, otherwise we won't be able to survive. But maybe that's something that you might want to reevaluate. So again, affording you more opportunities for growth, for perception, and for healing on the inside. So maybe take a look at what does, you know, in the hierarchy system, where do you see yourself? Do you actually truly believe that there are people that are smarter than you, better than you, and that these people should be ruling you? Do you need a ruler? Do you need somebody telling you how to live your life and what that should look like? So these are all just some things maybe to think about this month, but they're definitely going to open up some interesting opportunities for you. Okay, so like I said, there was one extra card that kind of fell out as I put the cards back, so I'll go ahead and take a look at it, but I want to see what Angela has here. Oh, okay. So Angela said, past lives has a beautiful woman with small ember of white flame at her third eye. Her eyes are open and her expression calm. She's surrounded in a warm yellow and green autumn background. Mythic reality shows a road to a beautiful abstract castle or city just behind a crossroads, surrounded in shining light with a rainbow over it. Past lives has a very ancestral energy. Mythic reality feels more of a vibe of home. Your ancestors are trying to get your attention. Should you work with them, they have secrets they want to share. You may find old items or a trip home, and a connection with them will grow. Hey Ted, it says, hi honey, how you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good actually. I hope you're having a lovely evening. Angela said, if you aren't one who works with your ancestors, a visit to nostalgic memories and places and finding of an old something that makes your heart sing. So Ted, actually I did the water signs a couple of days ago, so if you want to rewatch that video, today we're just doing the air signs, but maybe you have some air in your chart, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you do, stick around. Okay, so I did get that extra card that popped out, and actually, interesting, it's another set of doors. Another door. Anyway, it says the unknown. Okay. I think this one is also mostly for Aquarius and Gemini, and that's because of the messages that I got with the runes earlier on. That the best psychic in the world can only tell you maybe one timeline of the choices that you're making in the current moment. Nothing is set in stone. It's all very fluid. So we have to be comfortable in the uncomfortability of not knowing what's going to happen next. So instead of looking at the uncertainty as something scary, we can look at the uncertainty as an adventure. I don't know if, well, hopefully everybody here has seen some of the Indiana Jones movies from back in the 80s. If Indiana Jones was scared, about these things, he didn't see them as adventures, it's just too scary, the guy probably would have just stayed a professor and decided that he was going to read about this history and the archaeology of things and in his dusty old books. And that's where he would have spent his life. Instead, he decided to put himself out there, get into, amazing situations, go on these adventures, and I think that he found within himself, just his strengths, what he was good at. He was able to grow. He was able to see himself in a different light, better than he could as a professor in a classroom stuck with dusty old books. And so go out there, adventure, look at it as a big adventure because that's what it is. And anytime you feel a little scared, go do it anyway. But make sure that it's the higher self guiding you. okay? Because the higher self would never guide you wrong. You know, it's always going to be something that you can handle. And once you go through it, the confidence that you gain is going to be freaking amazeballs. So you guys got this. You guys got this. Yes. I feel like I'm talking to me too. All right. So for the people that are in the chat, we have the viewer's choice. So you get to vote on what question you would like next. And how you vote is with an emoji. You're either going to vote with a red heart emoji or a green heart emoji. Or if you don't have access to your emojis, just type the words red heart or type the words green heart. And then I'll count them up and see, excuse me, which one is like the winning question. Although I think they're both good questions. Okay, so question number 1. If you like this question, go ahead and vote with a red heart emoji or type the words red heart. The question is, what is lurking in my shadows? Question 2, for a green heart emoji or type the words green heart, a message from my ancestors. What message do my ancestors have for me? All right, so red heart, what is lurking in my shadows? Green heart, a message from my ancestors. All right, so I'll do a little Jeopardy music and you guys jump in on it. Hey Sumi, how are you? Sumi already coming in with the green hearts there. Alikia said, love that door. Angela said, I got cards with a green backdrop and ones with a red backdrop. That is so cool. All right, so Sumi's coming in with green. Alikia is coming in with green. Angela said, either one is fine by me. I already do the cards. Okay, so here we go. A little Jeopardy here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Let's see. So we got 1, 2. Angela, let's just throw you a green heart. So we'll go 3 green hearts. It looks like it's unanimous. Sumi said, message from the ancestors, like your t-shirt. Thank you. Who am I gonna call? Ghostbusters. Actually, I'll just call my higher self. All right, so green heart it is. Message from the ancestors. You got it. You got it. Okay, for that, I'm going to use the Oracle of Shadows and Light. Seems like a creepy deck, I guess, to use for your ancestors, but you know, that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to put this there. All right, let's do a little shuffle shuffle. It is a big deck, but I like big decks. Let's see, Angela said, for the ancestor blessing, you got a blessing on healing for illness or injury. It shows a woman in a green robe and green ivy leaf mask. Again, with all the greens, so green was meant to be. All right. Message from the ancestors, which, by the way, I thoroughly enjoyed our live chat this morning, our weekly live chat. Especially towards the end when I got to do all those channelings for everybody's spirit guides and relatives and animals that were coming through. That was amazing. I really thank everybody for allowing me to do that. That was so freaking cool. And it was weird to see how the room went from full to the waiting room getting smaller and smaller. It was kind of cool. Let's see. And just said, leaning against a tree. The next is confusion with a colorful green, red, and blue background. Oh, that was fun. I love the channeling and the Reiki healing. Dude, that was awesome. Sumi's like, Tara, almost getting demonetized. I like big decks. I like big decks and I cannot lie. Those other decks cannot deny. But when a deck comes in with a lot of color and a lot of size in your face, I get shuffled. Okay, there's our card. All right, I got it. All right, so I'm gonna put these back in their box there. Okay, looks like we got our card. Ooh, creepy. I like it. Angela said, liberation is the next card. I'm cracking Alicia up over there. It has a beautiful Native American person. I can't tell whether they are male or female. They have aspects of both. Ooh. Okay, for this one, I got Death and the Maiden. I like how he's creepily looking over her shoulder like, hey, baby. Like, Angela said, and a star in their forehead at their third eye and beautiful jewelry in their hair and swirls around the face that looks like the wind. Okay, so it says invasion, boundaries violated, dominance. Dude, this guy is totally, or whatever that is, violating this person's personal bubble. It's like, hey, can I tell you something? Sure. Let me get all up in your ear. Let me get all up in your backspace. I appreciate my personal space and my personal bubble. So even with my closest of friends, if they're like talking to me like this close to my face, I'm like, personal bubble. Okay, I don't like people breathing on my neck. It kind of creeps me out. All right, so let's see what our ancestors are saying about this though. Angela said, the last card is Magdalene, a beautiful depiction of Mary Magdalene with half her face darkened in shadow, the other half glowing, but the expression calm. She has the same wind and water like swirls. Interesting. Okay, all right, so let me dive into this one. For the month of October, oh my gosh, I think this kind of meshes in with a lot of the messages that we got, especially the ones about, you know, following your guidance, doing your thing, going on your path. You know, I mean, doesn't mean you can't listen to other people, but you also can't let other people live your life for you. I mean, I guess you could, but that's your choice. So what the ancestors are saying here is, we can't, or at least we shouldn't, allow people to gaslight us, allow people to guilt us into doing what they want us to do. And the way we protect ourselves against that is through our energetic shields and having really strong boundaries. Now, oftentimes, if there was a stranger on the street that said, hey, so-and-so, you know, why do you do your hair that way? You need to do this. I mean, we'd probably be like, go away from me, crazy person. But it's a little bit different when you hear certain comments from people that you love, or at least people that you trust or that you're pretty close with. Some people don't know that they gaslight because it's just so second nature to them. So they're used to projecting onto people. And some people are used to using guilt trips in order to get their way. They may not consciously know that they're doing this, and they may not consciously know that they're manipulating, because it's just what they do. And since maybe a lot of people around them don't have the boundaries enough to tell them, hey, you can't do that, or at least point out what they're doing, they're going to continue doing that. So for the month of October, your ancestors are asking you to have firm boundaries. It's for the protection of your energy and a respect for yourself, as much as it is a respect for the other person's energy and their boundaries. Actually, it's showing them where their boundaries are, and that they too should have boundaries, and they shouldn't try to extend their boundaries out onto other people. There is a nice way that you can do this. There is a nice way to be able to speak this. So I'm not saying you guys need to get mouthy, you know, with your best friend or, you know, your loved ones, but at least point out when that's happening and saying, hey, it feels to me as though you're projecting some of your own fears onto me, and I appreciate that maybe you feel like you're looking out for my best interest, but I feel like I'm smart enough, I have a good enough head on my shoulders that I know where I'm going, and I fully accept responsibility for my actions. And I'm going to learn, you know, whether this is a positive or negative experience, but I appreciate your input. You know, what is somebody going to say to that when you say I take full responsibility for whatever my choices are? you know, I mean, what are they supposed to say? But your choice should be this. Well, so if you feel like that's coming up for you this month, where there are some people that are getting maybe a little too pushy, telling you what you should be doing, how you should be acting, how you should be dressing, how you should be, where you should be working, you know, where you should be living, whatever it may be, there is a way to point that out to them and let them know that you're firm in your convictions. You have listened to them, you know, so not to say that you're not listening. Say, yes, I have listened to what you said, but I still feel that I would like to do this, but I really appreciate your input. Now, if they get nasty beyond that, well, that's on them, and I would say walk away from that situation. But yeah, firm boundaries, you guys, definitely this month. Okay. Interesante. All right, let's see what we have here. And just said, so we'll start with the blessing from the ancestors. Though it's self-explanatory, healing may not be the miraculously quick, but little by little it can be physical, mental, soul fragments. You have support, constantly just call on it. Confusion indicates a period of confusion, high energy, and chaos. Liberation says that will pass quickly, and invoking ancestor spirits or working with them may make it more bearable. I feel a sense of the black sheep from the earlier read. You may be freed from the black sheep stigma hurting you. Magdalene says, wear the black sheep moniker like a velvet gown. People don't like me either. People don't like me. I'm still called many words that shouldn't be spoken. It doesn't mean I am. I'm still beautiful. I'm not the names others call me, and neither are you. Let it roll off your energy, grow stronger, and let it be a cloak to never hurt you. Dude, that totally goes along with what the ancestors were saying here as well, that, you know, people can say a whole lot of things, and sometimes they can feel hurtful because it is coming from people that we know, people that we trust, and people that we love. So that's where we need to have an honest adult conversation with them and let them know that, hey, what you said hurt me, and I can see that maybe you thought you were helping me. Maybe you thought you were trying to steer me in the right direction, but really you can only see through your perception and your life's path. And since I'm the one living my life, I think I have a clearer view of it, but I do appreciate your input. And again, I fully take responsibility for all of my decisions, and that's just how it's going to be. So, all right, I think it is time for our healing, you guys. So I have my Tibetan singing bowl here. And Sumi says, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. Ooh, Sumi dropping some truth bombs there. I like that. I like that one. I like that one. I'm thinking of a lot of things right now, and that one's really good. I like that. Actually, I'm going to meditate on that one later. Thank you so much. Okay, so Angela's going to be right back. All right, so with the Tibetan singing bowl, I want to do kind of a quick guided meditation, but mostly I want you to drop into the heart space, because we are starting the road of life. We're in the energy of ebb, you know, in my astrology. So we're starting, today is the very first day of our Tresena. So think about the messages that you heard today. Which of those that do you want to bring in or work on in the month of October? And if you're going to be bringing stuff in, we got to let some stuff go. So let that be your focus. And when I get you guys to the breath portion, as you breathe things in, I want you to breathe in that intention and breathe in the energy of the things that you want. I want it to fill your physical being with that energy. And then we want to ground it in the earth. And also, because we're air signs, I want you guys to shoot that up into source energy. That yes, you want to ground it into the 3D, but you're also calling it in using your own source energy. Now, when we breathe out for the breath work, I want you to release something that no longer serves you. Maybe it's a physical thing, maybe it's a metaphorical thing or a symbolic, but we want to release it. All right, so let's get ourselves nice and cozy. Asumi said, a comedian taught me that. You know what? Comedians are actually pretty wise for the most part. You know, certain comedians where there's a lot of truth bombs in what they say. They may be doing it with comedy and they may make you laugh, but the reason I think comics should have the most freedom of their artistic expression is because through laughter, they can oftentimes drop mega truths, and they can also poke at our shadows, especially societal shadows. And so if people ever get pissed off at like comedians, we need to ask ourselves like, why was that the trigger? What's going on with us? Not what's going on with the comedian, not let's silence the comedian, because we need those people. We need those people to trigger us and make us laugh at the same time. And you know, because we have to have a brevity to our life, right? Sumi says, and you know, comedians get told what to do, not to do by everyone, relatives, friends, new comedians, old comedians. Dude, I can't even imagine what it's like in like the comedy sphere. It must be, dude, that must be some kind of world to navigate, dude. All right, guys, so let's get nice and comfy. I'm sitting on the hardwood floor, but you can find someplace more comfortable. Maybe lay down on the bed, maybe sit in a chair, sit in the couch. And let's just bring our awareness inwards. So take a nice deep breath and just let it out. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead and close your eyes. And I just want you to feel the rise and fall of your chest. Start to feel your body settle in. Feeling your haunches settle in. Feeling the shoulders moving away from the ears. And I want you to maybe start at the head and let your awareness just kind of spiral down the body. So as you're spiraling down, moving down, we feel that relaxation in our eyelids, around our skull. We start to feel it around our face and our jawline. It spirals around. We start to feel it in our neck becoming more pliable, malleable. We feel that spiral moving down to our shoulders, moving our shoulders away from our ears. It's spiraling down our torso, relaxing our abs, relaxing our torso, maybe keeping our spine somewhat straight, but relaxed. Straight but relaxed. Okay, relaxation in the upper arms, swirling down, starting to feel it in your forearms. Very relaxed. And as we move further down the body, the more relaxed you become. So we start to feel it in the hands, now swirling down past the torso into the hips. Let those things relax. They carry all our day's worries, everything from our back down to our hips. And then we have it swirling down the thighs, our knees. Our knees do so much work day in and day out. Give those babies a break. Let that energy swirl down the calves, relaxing the calves. Such small muscles, but boy, they help us do everything. When our calves give out, we know it. So give those babies a break. And then we move down to the ankles, swirling down to the feet and down to the toes. At this moment, you are fully relaxed, so calm, so at peace. And we're going to focus on our breath. Remember what I said for the breath. So what you breathe in is going to be your intention for October, and you're going to take that energy and bring it into the physical. You're going to bring it into your physical body. And when you breathe in that deep inhale into the lungs, into the stomach, and into the diaphragm, we're going to ground that into Mama Gaia, but also we're going to push that energy up out our crown chakra, up into source. We're going to connect to that energy that connects to us, okay? Because we want our intention to be with source, air signs, and also to be grounded in the 3D world, in earth, okay? And as you breathe out, a full exhale, belly button to the spine, empty the tank as much as you can. You want to fully release whatever it is you no longer wish to have, to own, to be in, to think in. You want to release that. All right, so let's start our breath work. Let's do that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I want you to continue breathing in this slow, methodical pattern over and over while I play the singing bowl. Think on your intentions. See it becoming a part of you. See it becoming a part of the earth. See it going into source, becoming one with all of the energy around you. And you know that the energy of what you're asking for will come to you in one energetic form or another. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. And if you hung out with me earlier this morning, dude, thanks for just hanging out with me all day today. So thank you guys, everybody who popped in. Thank you, Angela, for slinging some cards with us. Yeah, everybody who's commenting, everybody who is voting along with us and everything. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and everybody who watches the playback as well. If you know some air signs in your life, sun, moon, or rising, that you think would benefit from these messages, please go ahead and share this video. And if you enjoyed these messages, you enjoyed this reading, then go ahead and give this a thumbs up. So again, I thank you guys. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you to everybody who will share this video. Thank you to everybody who's watching, and to my YouTube members. So Liesel, Heather, Susie, Kayla, thank you guys so much. And to my patrons, you guys know who you are. So Surian, Brandy, V, Samara, Kirsten, Kayla, Sarah, Jason, Charles, Brian, Grace, and Jamie. Thank you all so very much. All right, you guys, so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and have a totally freaking awesome October. I am excited about this month, especially as we get closer to Samhain, because like I won't be here anymore. I'm gonna be up in that thing that we basically manifested it. We manifested it, and it's crazy. It's not surprising, but then it's surprising at the same time to be able to see exactly, or not exactly, how I had it pictured in my mind, but basically it's what I wanted. It's the energy I wanted and what James wanted. And so it's happening. I'm so excited. So I'll keep you guys abreast of that journey as well. So Angela said, had so much fun with this. Your reads are amazing. Your channels often lots of love and blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Sweet dreams. Have an awesome October. Catch you guys later. Thank you, Alikia. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.